ask you this: Nord Stream pipeline 2. We saw the basically the bombing of it underneath the water. We have been told by a very good journalist, Seymour Hersh, that it was the U.S. Deep state. We have French politicians and Euro politicians saying it was to the interest of the United States. Russia's wanting an investigation. China's wanting an investigation. The UN doesn't want to do one. This could be an act of war if it was done by U.S. operatives. Now, the New York Times reported that it was a pro-Ukrainian group that sabotaged the pipelines. Do we believe this story? Do we believe Seymour Hersh? What's our take here?
Okay,
Jacob, go first. I'll go to David after.
Oh, me or?
Oh, no, I'll go with you, Jacob, and then I'll go to David.
Seymour Hersh is a very competent journalist, but he's also a biased one. Not that his facts are wrongly reported, but he does have an anti-American bias, and a lot of what he writes editorially. He's not conservative or particularly much of a patriot in terms of favoring America's position in international relations, although he is a competent journalist. That must be granted. If the United States did it, it is unthinkable it did not do it without the knowledge of Great Britain and probably or possibly Israel, but certainly Great Britain. Okay. It is also difficult to believe that the NATO High Command did not know about it. And the chiefs of state of other major NATO powers did not know about it. I find it difficult to say the United States did it surreptitiously without some kind of impetus, without some kind of not just impetus, but some kind of knowledge of other powers, particularly Britain and at least some people in NATO. That is cut and dry. I don't think that can be contested. But what you're seeing now is disinformation. The deep state knows how to generate disinformation. It could have been him, it could have been him, it could have been him. You create so many possibilities of other people with motives that you wind up with what they're looking for. Plausible deniability. Plausible deniability is what they're going for. Same as a crooked lawyer. Same as a crooked lawyer. They know the client is guilty, but they're looking to create plausible deniability. That's what's happening.
David, what some European politicians are calling their own countries, especially the one in France, saying you need to investigate this because if the U.S. is involved in this, this is for their own interest. Now, granted, there's a lot of issues in Europe and a lot of things that, as Jacob pointed out, it probably could have been done in conjunction with other governments. But is this an act of war?
Certainly, if the United States has done this, or if Ukraine did this at the behest of our deep state, CIA, etc., then it is an act of war. And Russia would be right to stop our drones, stop our planes, do whatever. So that's right. But we see Europe is fracturing again. They're lining up, they're divided. And then you've got Germany. They were in a treaty with Russia to supply energy. And now they're paying out lots of money for energy this year, which is hurting their budgets and things like this. But we also have further infighting within NATO with the entry of Finland, et cetera, coming in, and Turkey not sure if they're going to give approval. So while at a time we're weak on our army, but also our allies are weak and divided. So we're in a mess. It's almost like God is just, if I look at this from God's, it looks like somebody has put a hook in the nose of all these countries and are pulling us to a bad conclusion.